Good evening, everybody. Hello! Oh, God. Die Party, what are you doing to me? Let me just fix this real quick. Hey, everyone. Welcome to week 2 of Wrath of the Minotaur. And as you can see, there's 4 of us now. Magical 4 in the party, so which is nice. Yeah. Awkward start, but anyway. Week 2, we have just finished short sort of introductory quest, I guess you could call it. And apparently we needed to find another party member, and what do you know, we found one. So I'll just go around and introduce everyone again. So we have Max and Graham from past episode, who are once again joining us as Oral for Max and DM for Graham, because he's the DM. But we also have a new party member, Luke, who will be playing Alistair. Luke, why don't you introduce yourself?
That's me. Yeah, well, hi. Nice to meet everyone. I'll be jumping in and just trying to get into the swing of things.
Yeah, and I just realized that everyone in the party has a beard right now, so...
Beard party, really.
Beard party, yeah. This should be called beard party instead of die party, because that makes more sense. Yeah, all right. So, Graham,
time continuum.
if you want, we can
Right.
get started.
Beer Force 4.
Beer Force.
Well, firstly, since Walter told us last time, can I get a recap from Max? Can you give me like a short recap of what you did and why you did it?
Okay. So, I'm terrible with names, so you've probably failed horribly in your choice picking me over Dave. But in as a request was put out for able-bodied adventurers from a local businessman, brothers Walzer and Oral, who hates his name and goes by anything but that, because it is a terrible name, leave their city, their home city, seeking adventure, fame, fortune, and potentially tail, and set out to answer the call of this nobleman, or businessman, rather. When they arrive, they're greeted by a servant. He lets them into what is rather lovely home. They are tasked with, after much discussion and some haggling for rather terrible wine, they are tasked with scouting a location, a mysterious location of a strange tower, and retrieving any books that may be present at the tower. Upon doing so, they found many items and a somewhat creepy tower, thwarted a particularly sad goblin attempted at an ambush, and returned back to the manor within the day to deliver the sack full of books, and then go over the loot that they had ascertained for themselves. Ascertained is not the correct word, but I don't care.
And can you give us a bit of a description of what was in the...
Yes. During their adventure, or their outing, rather, because it was more like an afternoon's trot, they uncovered a box, and opening the box, small wooden box, they uncovered what seemed to be scroll cases of sorts, small tubes with scrolls of many seemingly odd languages in them. And I think that's about where we are. They spent the night looking over them and trying to decipher what they were, and then went to sleep and got very little sleep and probably grumpy the next day.
Mm-hmm. And that's where we'll pick up. And you, of course, wish you could have got some more sleep, but at about dawn, you're woken up by what sounds like a very loud rap at the door. And you hear the door open, you hear a dialogue between, somebody, presumably Byron, the manservant. But at that point, what do? You're in your respective rooms.
So we each get a knock, or is it only one of us?
No, you hear a knock at the main door.
Oh,
So it's a loud knock.
Yeah, it's a loud knock.
We're upstairs
very,
or
very
on the
brief.
same level?
You two are on the upper floor 2.
Okay. Damn.
So either noise travels well in this house, or it's quite a commotion.
So what I want to do, I want to roll over my bed. I want to say, someone's got some knuckles downstairs. God damn. And like, so
It's like they were wrapping their fist, actually banging.
Oh, their fist. Okay.
Okay, guess I would probably roll out of bed and try to collect as many of my belongings to myself quickly as possible. And
Yeah,
be ready to go.
we did pack up the scrolls the previous night.
Right,
we
the scrolls
went to
are.
bed, so.
But I mean, like, I doubt my character would. I doubt Oral would be sleeping with like a vest full of daggers.
Fully dressed, yeah.
Right, fully dressed in leather armor. So I would hurriedly try to get my gear on and.
I'll lazily put mine on. I'm in no rush.
Okay.
I don't have a lot of clothing or armor anyway, so it's not like I have to rush to put that stuff on. So
Yeah, simple stuff.
yeah.
You do see when you wake up at the window, it's just after daybreak. I mean, you guys are groggy, if anything, after spending the night looking at your physics textbook rather, and trying to compare it with the notes you found.
Right. Roughly how many hours worth of sleep do you think we got?
3.5.
Okay. Cool.
Do you go downstairs? Do you stay upstairs? Do you kind of try to listen downstairs, or try to listen?
So we each have a window in our room. Which direction is the window facing?
So the window in Oral's bedroom faces south, out the same way the front door does. Your window would face to the east.
Okay, so I look out the window. I don't see anything, so I might as well go see what the brother is doing. See if he's noticed the giant clabbering on the front door of this place at all.
Suppose I would kind of move to the window, but kind of like shift off to the side and kind of like peer around it. Just kind of try not to be seen easily, but still look out the window.
I knock on. Yeah, I'll knock on his door at this point as well. So.
Okay, Oral, let's knock at your door.
I guess I move to the door and I open it, but kind of like shield myself behind the door as I open it.
Morning, brother.
Oh, fucking hell, it's just you.
Who else would it be?
I don't know. Who the fuck? What's going on downstairs?
I sort of come into his room and I walk over to the window and I sort of poke my head out the window and look straight down, if I can.
Still kind of like rubbing my eyes and getting the sleep out of them.
Yeah, you look downstairs and Luke, who do they see on the porch?
Oh well, they can't see too much.
No, but what do they, if we were to look at you from upstairs, what would they see?
Mostly a leather hat, pretty shoddy looking. It's just got a big wide brim, so you can't see too much. It's still covered with dew from the morning. Yeah.
Just
banging on the door still.
What else? What is he wearing like a jacket or something like that, or a backpack? Does he look traveled?
There's a yeah, you can see that it looks like this fella's literally just kind of walked up to the manor right from the street. So he's, you can see that there's like some mud prints from his boots. You can see that he's got a backpack over his shoulder and he's holding a stick or a walking staff in his hand. But yeah, he's desperately is trying to get him to say something or do something there.
All right, I look out the window and I scream down, "What are you selling?"
You see the person, he looks up and he's just like, "I need to speak to Thistle Burrows now." Are you Thistle Burrows?
Do I look like a midget to you?
I can't see. I take off my hat and I squint in the morning sun and it's just like, "Well, you're ugly enough."
And I go back inside.
I'm just kind of snickering and pointing.
So the door opens and Alistair, you see a kind of proportionate man, shorter than you. You're rather tall. Shorter than you, though proportionate as far as height and weight are concerned. He's got long hair tied back in a ponytail with a black ribbon. He's wearing, very hastily dressed olive shirt that's kind of rolled up at the sleeves at the elbows, and he's got kind of wrinkled dark pants and black shoes on with big brass buckles. And he's answered the door and he says, "Now, what's all the racket out here? Who are you?"
I'm sorry for disturbing you at this morning hour, but I need to speak to Thistleburrows. My name is Alistair, and I come bringing some very disturbing news.
Oh, where from? Where do you hail from, then?
I hail from Wyvern Falls. Uh, Basically, I don't have too much time. I bring terrible news that we've been attacked by wild animals.
Wild animals of Wyvern Falls, you say? All right, come on in then. So
Thank you.
I presume.
Yep.
So when you enter the room, you see a grand foyer with a large green carpet spanning the length of it, 50 feet about. You see a armored human with kind of a crossbow on his back, standing in the foyer, as well as kind of 4 rooms you can see that are very open. One appears to be a kitchen preparatory area. One is a dining area. One is looks to be, and well, the other 2 appear to be kind of relaxing rooms. One appears to be a drawing room. One perhaps a smoking room. You're not entirely sure what they could be used for. So this man introduces himself as Byron, manservant to Boswell Thistleburrows of the Vale. And as he's walking across the room, or across the foyer, to a large set of double doors, he's kind of saying, these animals, what's the nature of this? Danger, you say?
Well, these animals are quite unlike anything we've seen before. It started happening about 2 months ago, or just about 2 months. First off, farmers started seeing winged creatures. They flew around, and at first we thought nothing too much of it. They were an oddity, but after a while they kept getting closer and closer, and some farmers have been attacked, some of my family included. It's getting, and we don't know what to do. We're farmers. Well, at least my family and all of my community are farmers. We don't know how to fight off these creatures. They even have stingers, and they're strange things. We've had Thistleburrows help before, and we thought maybe he could help us again.
You don't say. Yes, let me rouse Master Thistleburrows and tell your tale again to him, and we'll see what he says. And he's going to go through these double doors, which have kind of brass artwork of a knotted rope held by a fist. And so he's going to go through those double doors. You see a very large, library of sorts with desks and books and a large fireplace. And he will go in there. You hear footsteps, yada yada yada. Goes in. You hear some light conversation from inside the room, and then the same man with the olive-colored shirt, Byron, as he named himself, will kind of poke his head back around the door frame, and he will kind of wave you in, like, "Oh, come on." And
right.
when you walk in, you see kind of a gnarled old halfling. Seems to be a little over half your height, but tall for his race, but still a halfling. He's wearing kind of a blue dressing robe, and he's got kind of gnarled yellow teeth, wispy gray hair, a lot of wrinkles, frown lines, that kind of thing. And he's sitting on a large, man-sized, burgundy-colored chair, and his feet are kind of just dangling off the edge of it. There is a similarly colored ottoman in front of him, but he has his feet just kind of dangling. And he will say, and he will kind of hold his hand out for you to take, and maybe like a handshake.
I will approach him, but with a glaring look of slight disapproval. I will decline to take his hand at first.
In marriage.
And standing there, and I'll be like, "So you must be Thistleburrows. It's nice to meet you, I suppose."
I am, and you bring grave news. Byron tells me, and you see right away that Boswell Thistleburrows speaks with a very profound stutter.
Yes, I do bring grave news indeed. A few months ago, about 2 or so.
Please have a seat.
Oh, thank you. I'll sit down, sitting on the edge of the seat, clearly not comfortable in this particular situation, or at least energetic, chomping at the bit. I go, 2 months ago, there were creatures seen around Wyvern Falls, which is where I hail from. They were tall, winged lizards is probably the best description that we were able to get, or at least from some of the farmers, about the size of men. And they were at first descending and preying upon our livestock, our sheep and our cows. We also found marks of a puncture wound, which turned out to be stingers as well. They were pests until they started attacking the people who were herding the livestock. And yeah, we're simple farmers. We don't know how to defend ourselves against this kind of threat. We've had your assistance before, although it didn't go so well, but we've decided if we could ask for your assistance again, Lord Thistleburrows, in getting rid of this menace.
What is your name again?
Alistair.
Alistair. I don't. Do I know you from some time?
Let's see.
You're the boy who sent the message about the work release farm hands.
Yes, that was right. I was just a boy then, but I won't forget it very well. That work release program didn't go very well for you, did it?
No, I'm so sorry.
We appreciate the gesture, but what's done is done, I suppose.
Well, I think I can certainly help you more this time. You've arrived at just the best possible time, because just upstairs I have two of the bravest, most daring-do adventurers I've ever met, and they tell me they killed an entire army of orcs is what they told me. And
really?
Yes, they should be quite adept and just jumping at the opportunity to slay the scourge of Wyvern Falls.
That sounds interesting. I'd like to ask them how they defeated this orc army. I like finding out the reasons for things, you see. It's a passion of mine.
But Byron, rouse our heroes, please, and maybe a glass of whiskey for our friend here. And so Byron leaves the room, and he walks up the stairs, and you two hear him coming up the stairs. Heard none of that, but hear him coming up the stairs after seeing this hat-wearing man being introduced into the home. And he will first knock on Walter's door.
I'll open my door and kind of peek out. And what do I see when I peek out?
Well, you see Byron there with his ponytail and olive-colored shirt, and he's kind of waiting for a response from Walter's door across the hall.
Okay, I'll in kind of a hushed voice, I'll go, slightly gripping one of my daggers at my side, and go, Byron, what's going on?
Oh, well, I was coming to get you. As a matter of fact, there's a man downstairs with a very interesting tale about monsters. He says, from attacking Wyvern Falls, and I was
At
sent
this
up here
point,
to.
I'll open the door or stick my head around it as well, and I'll be like, "Monsters, you say? Hang on, monsters, you say? Now that right there is right interesting." And I put my hand on Oral's shoulder and I was like, "What are you doing? Put it away." And I open the door and I walk out to Byron.
All right, and he says, "Yes, come downstairs right away. Time is of the essence," is the way he tells it.
Do I have all my belongings? If not, I would grab them from the room, I guess.
Sure. If not, you grab them. Yeah.
All
the belongings.
I only have a backpack and a lucerne, so I assume.
Yeah, so I suppose really just pick up the backpack and walk.
By the way, I like how 4 orcs turn into an army over one night. I think that's fucking hilarious.
And I despise it.
Yeah.
It was so great. Yeah.
Right.
All right, going downstairs, thud, thud, thud. Your boots make hearty thuds on the good, solid wood staircase. And Byron leads you down to the study. You've been there before, twice now.
Mm-hmm.
Looks the same. But you do see a man there. Alistair, do you stand up to greet them, or you stay sitting?
Well, I'll stand up and turn around to appraise the people who are walking in.
Okay, yeah, you stand up. You see two men. If you didn't know any better, they might even be brothers. One of them is rather built like a smith would be. The other one's kind of thinner and spindly, I think. You see them too. They're dressed rather simply. It would seem they have their gear on. They certainly look like adventurers, if anything else.
How tall is Alice?
Kind of taller man. This guy is certainly taller than you. You got
okay.
Yeah.
Good. It's the ugly door greeter from upstairs.
It's the poison peddler from out the front.
So you're the adventurer I've been hearing about these past few moments,
Quite. What have you heard?
That you've defeated an army of orcs. You'll have to tell me how you did that.
I laugh.
True.
I laugh and I'm like, an army is a bit much. It was more like a small battalion.
Don't be modest.
Yeah. And it's like,
Well, fair enough then.
Yeah.
Is the fireplace on at the current moment?
No.
Oh. Then I am disappointed.
You're always so cold.
Yes. Alistair here comes from Wyvern Falls up north. You may have heard of it. He told me a rather tragic tale, truth be told, and he tells me there are what was it, dragons, draconic lizard creatures attacking.
Yes, draconic lizards.
Wyvern Falls could be dragons, mind you, and I know you're right upstairs, right as rain. Brave souls. I can think of no one better.
Well, I'm glad you thought of us. How big are these creatures? They sound impressive.
They're about the height of a man.
Disappointing. Okay. And how much are you paying?
You took the words right out of my mouth.
Yeah. Well, we think alike, brother.
Which worries me every day.
I like rub his shoulder. I'm like, yeah.
Well, the folk that I represent don't have much, but we pulled what we have to help our cause. Some of it mainly would be in foodstuffs. We are a farmers area, so we can provide you with very, very high quality goods. But gold is hard to come by.
And Buff pipe up there, and he says, and in fact, if what Alistair says here is truthful, I would be willing to pay you fabulously if you were able to bring me back tales of your victory.
Yeah. Now hold up. Do you mean actual tales, or do you mean like tales of the monsters? Because we can do both.
Well, both would be rather interesting. Proof of such a creature would be all the more convincing.
I might even be able to make a helmet out of one of the creatures. Interesting. Brother, what do you think?
So you say creatures. This implies plural. How many are we speaking, roughly?
The reports I've gotten fairly vague. Some say more, some say less. I think.
So you would probably know that it was 3 or 4 at a time.
Yeah. we've never seen one individually. They always do seem to be in a type of pack scenario. We haven't seen that. The reports vary. The minimum we've seen is 3, but it can go up from there.
Do you happen to know if they have a nest or something along the lines?
We were hoping that adventurers such as yourself would be able to help us find that.
Now, surely they come from a direction.
Yeah.
Well, Wyvern Falls is known for the waterfall of the same name. We don't go too far there. We tend to stick with our farming areas and our crops.
And you would know, Alistair, that there are certainly goblins and kobolds and other nastiness, other pests that live in those mountains there.
To be honest, yeah, we don't have the time nor the experience to be able to go up to the areas where they might be nesting.
Graham, I would like to sort of inspect Alistair at a distance, if at all possible, a little more closely.
Yeah.
Basically, what I want to try...
That was kind of weird, like at a distance, but then you want to get closer. I'm just going, oh, okay. So you stepping back
what I want to try and do is, like, I want to try and ascertain...
He's doing a fadeaway
if he's of a farmer's build, or if he's, like, got something a little extra in there. That I'm trying to work out whether or not he would be helpful to us.
Okay.
On a similar token, I suppose I could use class observation.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you can also certainly do that. So, do you want to do that first, or do you want to let Walzer do his? What is this? Eye for detail is what you were going for?
Yeah, or something along those lines. Yeah. That's in the that's the skill I use XP on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's under upgrade companion. That's under professional, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Let me take a look here. I was looking through my current skills and I just couldn't find anything. Sorry, mate.
No, you're good. Yeah. Class observation. That's something I already have as kind of
right.
my class.
Yeah.
So I have it for 10. So.
All right. So yeah, you're kind of looking at him, kind of looking. Usually the hands kind of tell you a bit of a story. You can't really. His hands are quite still. The way he sits is, solid and not really belying his true, maybe origin or background.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Eye for detail looks like it might be the one to use. So I'll go ahead and use that then.
Okay. So you're gonna spend that XP.
Yeah. I'll just write it down.
All right. So, in fact, you're looking at the cut of his clothing, the make of his shoes.
Yeah. Sorry. Yep.
You're kind of looking at the way his hat is looking. Alistair, do you have a beard?
A few days growth, but no. Yeah, just a few days growth.
Okay. So you see that he is normally clean shaven, but he does have a few days growth of stubble on his face. And this would only come from somebody who was able to afford either a barber or was doing it himself. Right now, this is only usually comes from the nobility. You know that Wyvern Falls has no nobility, so he could be lying about that. You certainly know that, however, that there could certainly be a barber in Wyvern Falls to do that, but you get the sense that he came straight here from there, and so he probably didn't have a beard, 3 days ago. So he probably lived somewhere.
Are you guys catching any of that?
The way he speaks, his inflection, he doesn't have like a drawl or anything like that. He seems to, the way his vocabulary is very, seems to be advanced, more so than you or Orals. He uses a word or two that you've never even heard before. He didn't really, but maybe we can say that.